We had a very exciting finish to that race, and if you're interested in receiving a souvenir DVD of the race, stop by the merchandise tent. The DVDs are available for sale about 30 minutes after the finish of the race. They're only $15, and they're beautifully done with all of the fine camera work that we have with the camera positions and the expert camera people throughout our course area here. Have some great photos, and moving photos, of course, and you have an opportunity to get a DVD of any particular race that you'd like to have. It's available about a half hour after the race is over with, and it's available at the merchandise tent. Just $15, an outstanding souvenir for you. Next up is race number 78, the men's collegiate varsity petite final. And we'd like to mention that Chevrolet is here. Yes, you may drive and test drive a beautiful Chevrolet right here at the San Diego Crew Classic. Try out a 2013 Bolt, Cruise, or Traverse to receive a $10 voucher, good for the Crew Classic concessions and beer garden. Chevrolet is here. Test drive a Chevrolet today and receive a nice voucher prize for concessions at the Crew Classic and the beer garden. Chevrolet.
University of San Diego.
Here are your lane assignments for event 78, men's collegiate varsity petite final. Lane 1, University of San Diego. Lane 2, Oklahoma City. Lane 3, UC San Diego. Lane 4, Bates College. Lane 5, Washington State University. And in lane 6, Santa Clara University. And we have a start. Once again, very calm conditions. Cross tailwind from the starboard side. All crews away without incident.
Right now we have a close-up of the Dan O'Neill boat raced by Santa Clara University. Dan O'Neill has a boat named for him. He's an executive here with the San Diego Crew Classic and a driving force in getting our internet feed and set up here at the Crew Classic.
On your lead right now in lane 5, the Cougars from Washington State University, followed closely by Oklahoma State over in lane 2. The Rams hold an advantage over the third place crew, which is Bates College. Then we go outside to Santa Clara University. Crew's now approaching the 500-meter mark. And now it appears that Oklahoma City is your race leader. Very close race between Oklahoma City, Washington State, and for that third position, a very close race with Bates College, Santa Clara, and the inside crew, University of San Diego. That's the call as we pass the 500-meter mark.
Checking our lane assignments here for race number 78, the men's collegiate varsity petite final. It is the University of San Diego in lane number 1. Oklahoma City currently on the lead in lane number 2. We have lane number 3 assigned to the University of California, San Diego. Lane number 4 is Bates College. Lane 5, Washington State. And lane number 6 is the Dan O'Neill boat. This is run by Santa Clara University. And once again, Dan O'Neill, an instrumental part of the San Diego Crew Classic as a classic executive and the driving force behind getting our internet feed going here at the Crew Classic.
From the heats yesterday, one would expect this to separate out into two races. University of San Diego in lane 1, Oklahoma City University in lane 2, and the University of California San Diego in lane 3 all had a time very similar, 6:06s and 6:08s. And then one sees a separation in time back to Bates College, Washington State, and Santa Clara at 6:13s and 6:20s. So one can expect as this race pans out that if that form is correct, we're going to see a race for 1, 2, and 3 and a race for 4th place between the rest of the crews in the race. But at the moment, Washington State are really taking it out and are challenging, and let's see if they can maintain that over the second half of the race.
Just as you mentioned that, Charles, Washington State had to make a little bit of a course correction as they went angularly across their lane 5. Didn't seem to cost them a whole lot as they continue to be at or near the front of the pack here. They are working against Oklahoma City, so the two of those are playing tit for tat back and forth. And then along the shoreline here, the two crews, University of San Diego, the University of San Diego has inserted themselves back into this. Nobody is really running away with it. About the only crew that has fallen out of favor here is Bates College, as they've dropped back on the trailing position.
Yeah, so what we have here is the second level crews in this event. So these are the crews that finished 3rd and 4th in their heats yesterday, and they are contesting these positions essentially for pride to establish themselves in the pecking order in the event. And it looks like the University of San Diego in lane 1 being challenged hard by Oklahoma City University in lane 2. University of California San Diego a little back from them, but not by much, and Washington State still throwing out that challenge, although they're coming under pressure from Santa Clara on the outside.
Looks like Washington State is beginning to fall back into the pack just a little bit, and our crews in lane 2 and 3 beginning to exert themselves. Oklahoma City continuing on the lead. University of California San Diego has edged up into contention, as the times from yesterday are not quite showing as they might expect. Like you said, Charles, Washington State certainly got off to a great 1,500 meters, but they are beginning to fall back into the pack, and Oklahoma City beginning to produce a little bit of dominance here, and the University of California San Diego coming on, and those two crews beginning to leave behind Washington State and the University of San Diego.
Yes, it's the crew from Oklahoma City University that have powered their way through to the lead. They're under pressure from UC San Diego, but that pressure is not telling in terms of relative movements between the two boats. University of San Diego haven't been able to maintain their challenge. They are now coming under pressure from Washington State, who have found a new lease of life in the 4th 500 and are challenging up to Oklahoma City University and UC San Diego, and have probably taken 3rd spot for the University of San Diego as they come past the commentary position.
Oklahoma City on the lead by about 4 seats, but they are being challenged by the University of California San Diego, and those two crews are beginning to run away from them. Washington State is in 3rd, and along the shoreline, the University of San Diego and Bates College going after one another, with the Santa Clara crew beginning to come into it. But if we're going to look at it, it is the outside crew, University of San Diego and Oklahoma City going at one another, and it looks like the winner there's going to be Oklahoma City, as they fought off a furious challenge from the University of California San Diego, and then driving through will be University of San Diego, Bates College, Washington State. Checking on the final run here, and watch for the white shell, and that would be Oklahoma City. And it looks like they maybe picked up a 1-seat victory here in the men's collegiate varsity petite final. Going to check on the trailing boat, as the Bates University appears to have snuck in there past the University of San Diego. So a good, strong finish. University of California San Diego making a furious run, but Oklahoma City able to hold them off. Exciting finish there, and an opportunity in about a half hour to pick up a DVD at the merchandise tent. They're only $15. You get a gorgeous view.